Hello everyone, JR10 Desert Gold. I just finished up this new solar power station a couple of days ago and thought I'd do a quick review on it. Initial testings have been very nice, so I'm happy about that. Anyway, all of these parts I got off of Amazon, so they're easily accessible. Being a Prime member, I even got very nice delivery times and nothing lasting more than a couple of days time to get the parts I was looking for. Starting out with this camera case, I don't want to totally butcher this, but it's Meijia or something like that, M-E-I-J-I-A. Hard case. It's a waterproof case, a hard waterproof case, and intended for camera storage, so you can bet that it's definitely going to be protected. And it is a nice case. I mean, you can feel it when you get inside of it. It's good, sturdy. I think it's a nylon type plastic, some poly plastic. The case comes with a couple of 1.5 to 2 inch pick and pluck foam on the bottom, and this waffle shaped padding on the lid. I didn't need the bottom panels, so I took those out, and I started building. I built this with a couple of 12.8 volt batteries that I already had. They are 18 amp, and these size batteries are really reasonable. I had them for a while, and I think I bought them for about 60 bucks. And currently I was looking on Amazon, and you can get the 20 amps, a pair of 2, for 94 bucks, which is nice. So you get a couple of these and you wire them, and if you're going to use them for astrophotography, most of everything you're going to be using is going to be 12 volt, so you're going to wire them in parallel. So parallel wiring is going to keep the voltage the same at 12.8 volts, and it's going to double the amperage to 36 amps. So at 36 amps, you've got a 460 watt hour total battery capacity. Now, one of the differences that I did get away from was the charge controllers that I was using in the past were normally these PWMs, which is good for lower voltage systems such as this. But the PWM, or pulse width modulator, I'm getting these confused, is great at monitoring the voltage during charging. But the thing I found that these don't have a good percentage of total charging. So in other words, when those said that these batteries were fully charged, they were at 13.6 volts. And these are deep cycle batteries, so they can hold a bigger charge than what that PWMs were, or what those PWMs were showing. And I've always been a fan of the MPPTs, which is maximum power point tracking, and they squeeze every bit of incoming voltage that they can from the solar panels and make sure it gets to these batteries. And I got the Victron 7515, which is 75 volt, 15 amp solar charger, and it is perfect for this size and anything on up to 75 volts. Okay, so we have the power, we have the charge controller regulating the power. Now we need to make use of how we're going to use it. So I mounted a cigarette lighter port, which you plug in one of your DC cigarette lighter adapters. It puts out, well, the last time I tested this, when I first powered it up, it was at 13.3 volts that it's putting out at 5 amps. So it's plenty of charge for the ASI Air or any other 12 volt accessory that you're going to be using on an astrophotography rig. I also put in a power switch, master switch, so that when you're not using it, you just switch it off and this whole rig becomes dormant. The batteries, no matter what, are going to lose minimal amount of charge just by normal chemical reactions. But it's easier to put one of these on and not have the charge controller or any other accessories you might have leaching more energy from the battery when you're not using it. So we've got that. We've got the power out. And then I just put a little 5.5 by 2.1 jack right there. And then I plug right into my solar panel and charge that little puppy up. And finally, I got a little crazy. And even though I don't really use USB ports, I was bored one day and decided to add, these are cheap, and there's two USB ports here with slide doors that spring close when you're not using them. But this one here is a USB 3 and this one here is a USB-C. So you've got high capacity data transfer with these two ports when you want them, and all. It comes active when the power comes on. And I don't know if you can see it, but the blue light indicates that the USB ports are active. You just turn it off. And that's it. I mean, simple, easy peasy. Now, is it worth it? I just checked the pricing on, let's say, the latest Jackery. This is an old 300. I don't know if you can see it, old 300. The latest version of, well, it's the popular version of the 500 is running $499, and with tax, you know, it's over 500. And that's with the old battery system. That's the lithium manganese, which is got a shorter lifespan than the lithium iron phosphate batteries that these have. Jackery liked using the lithium manganese because they have a higher power density than lithium iron phosphate, but you only get about 500 charges out of them before you drop down below 80% on charge cycles or recharging. Battery will only charge up 80% after about 500 recharges. Where these charge all the way for thousands of charges or recharging. So these are lighter, they're less hazardous as far as any fires. They don't have the power density that the lithium manganese does, but at the same time, you get 5-10 years before you have to look for new batteries. I've already been through 3 different Jackery batteries with the old battery styles. They've got, apparently they're coming on board with the lithium iron phosphates. They've got their 500 and I believe their thousands that they're putting out now with the lithium iron phosphate. So that's good news. Anyway, what I was getting at is that these cost me about, well, at the time, $66. You can get, like I said, 20 amp batteries and add 40 more watts to your total for $94, which is exactly what I would do if I needed them. Victron solar charge controller was $66, and it also has Bluetooth built into it, which means that you can monitor your battery bank while you're using it from your iPhone or iPad or smart device. And the battery, this case that I used, is also the other most expensive. So you've got this one came in at $70. So you've got $70 for the case, $66 for the solar charge controller. I had $66 in here, and like I said, you could probably go 94 for the 20 amp, and that would be a better choice. So I mean, you got 100, let's say 170 plus 66. 170 plus 66 is what, 243? Is that right? So you've got about 240 in the big parts, and maybe another, I don't know, I spent maybe $20 on all the plugs and wiring. So $260, maybe under $275, which is not bad for a 500 watt or 460 watt power generator. So you got basically under $275 for a 460 watt hour solar generator or power generator. I would say that is pretty much worth it. You can figure pretty close to $1 a watt when you're trying to guesstimate what you can afford or what you want to afford in pricing these solar battery banks. And as I said, the latest price on the Jackery 500 is $500. If you take $40 off of it, which would make this the 460, you're talking about $460 there. And this is under 275, so I'd say it's worth it. Anyway, I hope I didn't bore you. I just think that it's pretty easy to make one of these things. Well worth the time, and the feeling of accomplishment when it actually works is pretty cool too. So I hope you guys enjoy this. Anyway, have fun, be safe. Desert Gold out.